welcome to this introduction to selection. We're going to be using Java to help us understand this concept, and we're going to be looking at an ATM simulator. In my main function, which is here, I'm going to call a function called welcome, and then I'm going to call my ATM simulator function. Here is the design of the welcome function, very, very basic function, and here I've started to code my ATM simulator function. We're going to be getting data from the keyboard, so I'm using a scanner variable to do that. I've just called it kbin, and I've created another variable which is going to store the value from the keyboard. In fact, let's, I think I've got a system.out.print here. Yeah, I've already been messing around with this. So let's just ask the user to enter a value, and then let's use our scanner variable to get some data from the keyboard and store it in our integer variable. So let's get an integer from the keyboard. Okay, so we're getting an integer from the keyboard, we're storing it in a variable, which I've declared here, and now we're going to analyze it. If. So this is the syntax of an if statement in Java. If, round bracket, and then curly bracket for the if code. Now, inside the round brackets, we're going to put the condition. If the amount is greater than 20, we're going to do these three things. So I think let's do that. We're going to get a haircut. We're going to buy a hat. And we're going to go to the cinema. Okay. So if that's true, we're going to do those three things, and then we're going to go to bed. And if it's not true, if it's false, we're just going to go to bed. Okay? Okay, so if the amount is greater than 20, we're going to do these three things, and then we're going to go to bed. And if that's not true, we're not going to do these things, we're just going to go to bed. So let's run the program and see if it works. I've got $25 in my pocket, so hopefully I'll do these three things and then I'll go to bed. Yay! It works. I've only got $10 in my pocket, so I'm just going to go to bed. Okay? Because that's not true. Okay, so we're coding this logic here. Let's just continue to a slightly more complicated situation. This time, if I've got more than $20, I'm going to do these three things. Otherwise, if that's false, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to watch TV. So to code that, we're just going to put an else statement. This is the false path. We're going to watch TV. Okay. So if I've got more than $20 in my pocket, I'm going to do these three things. Else, which is this path here, this is the else path, I'm going to watch TV. And when all of that's finished, I'm definitely going to go to bed, which is this line of code here. So let's run that and see if it works. I've only got $15 in my pocket, so I'm probably going to watch TV and go to bed. Yay, it works. Now let's continue on to just the final sample in this video. This is a little bit trickier. I'm just going to get rid of this else statement for a minute. If we've got more than $20, we're going to do these three things. Else, if the amount is greater than 10, else, if the amount is greater than 10, we're going to buy a pizza. Okay. Else, if, which is here, else, if money is greater than 10, we're going to do that. Else, we're going to read a book. Okay, so here we've got an if, else chain to cope with this logic. Note that if this is true, we're going to do these three things only. If that's not true, we're going to jump to this condition to check it. And if that's true, we're going to buy a pizza, and that's all we're going to do. And if that's not true, we're going to jump to the final else, and we're just going to read a book. So have a think about it.